just finished my half marathon. I am in bits. This will make sense, surely, hopefully. Back in April, I was definitely the fittest I'd ever been after running my first marathon. But I found training for that very hard, as it should be. So I decided to spend the summer doing some pretty fun, but very silly challenges for some videos. And so 8 weeks ago, I wanted to sign up to another race and get into some consistent running again. But 5 weeks ago, I got very ill, couldn't run for 3 weeks, lost a lot of weight. And so for the last 2 weeks leading up to today, I tried to get back into it with a few shorter runs, but they weren't pretty. My fitness is falling off a cliff. Oh. So it's safe to say when I woke up this morning at the crack of dawn, I really wasn't sure what was going to happen. But I know what I'm like with these race days. If I'm going to do it, it's go hard or go home. So for me, that meant trying to go for my PB, which was sub 1 hour 41. And if I couldn't get that, then probably failing miserably. So this morning, I got myself up bright and early, jumped in an Uber, got there late, saw a deer.
Love that.
Yeah. I then realised I need to just run out of the Uber and run to the start line if I had any chance of making it. This is not ideal. Just enough time for me to pee, stretch, and find my spot to start. And so I was there, very unprepared, but it was go time. To get my PB, I decided that I'd try and run the first mile in 8 minutes, and then every mile after that, try and run it 5 seconds quicker, all the way to the end, and hopefully that would be a PB. The target was set, the scene was set, go hard or go home. I mean, I'm at home now, but obviously I ran a bit. Mile 1. Nice and controlled. As with all starts, it gets a bit congested, so I was just trying to keep it simple and get into my rhythm, which was hard because my watch hadn't connected to the GPS yet, so my pace was all over the place, and I couldn't quite tell how quick I was going. Some beautiful scenes though to start it off. Mile 1, 7:59, bang on target. Mile 2, getting a bit ahead of myself. This is dumb. I'm having fun though. My watch still hadn't figured out my actual pace, so I was going off feeling. Still settling into a good rhythm though, and still some lovely sights. Mile 2, 7:42, good, but I was getting a bit ahead of myself. Mile 3, same story. I did try and slow myself down here, but with my watch not playing ball still, I didn't want to slow down too much, and I was feeling good. Mile 3, 7:38, I definitely needed to slow down. Mile 4, back in control. I still felt great, but I knew I didn't want to kill myself too early on. I knew my lack of training meant by mile 9 or 10, my legs were probably going to just start giving up on me. Mile 4, 7:52, back in control. Mile 5, hills nearly killed me. I've never been good with inclines, and especially for this, as I'd done literally no incline training. And even though the inclines in this park were very, very small, I definitely felt it. Mile 5 came in at 7:50, a bit shy of my target for this mile. Mile 6, back on it. Just about getting through those little incline bits, and I was able to get my legs moving strongly again once we got out of them, and so I pushed on. I was scared at this point about the second half of the race. The route is 2 loops of the park, so I knew those inclines were going to come back. Mile 6, 7 minutes 30, back on it, a little quicker actually than my target time. Mile 7, tentative. So yeah, I've gone a bit quicker than I planned to on that last mile, and this is where I really started to feel it. I knew I didn't need to go any faster, but my legs under me were starting to feel a bit fatigued, so I took this next mile tentatively. Mile 7, 7:43. I'd need to pick it up a bit if I wanted to stay on track. Mile 8. Back on it again. One take again. I play better with one hand, I tell you. Leg fatigue definitely hitting in here now, but I pushed on. I didn't want to slip behind my targets too much, otherwise I knew the PB would be completely out of reach. And at this point, my mind was fully on just getting it or fail miserably trying. Mile 8, 7:25, bang on again. Mile 9, keeping it smooth. As I thought, hitting mile 9 was when my legs and breathing was starting to take its toll on me a bit. But I kept my head down, kept it smooth, and tried not to overdo it. Mile 9, 7:23, hanging in there for the PB. Mile 10. Oh, just about getting there. A few of the smaller inclines were coming back to us here, and my little old legs were not enjoying them. This was crunch time between falling behind too much or hanging in there and hoping I'd have enough left in me towards the end when the course flattened out a bit. Mile 10, 7:25, and a much needed water station here too. So I made sure to stop and give myself a quick breather. My lack of fitness was definitely catching up with me here. And now go hard or go home was truly about to come into play. Mile 11. Ouch. Legs fully crumbling under me at this point, and those damn inclines coming back. They weren't big, like I said, but after 10 miles and the lack of training, it felt like I was going up a mountain. My hamstrings as well started to pull quite a bit here too. I knew this was going to be a slow mile, so I just wanted to hang in there and not die. Mile 11, 7:36. The inclines were pretty much done now, so I knew I'd need to just get my head down, pick up the pace and see where I'd end up. Wasn't really sure what time I was on for. I knew I'd done some miles at the start quicker than I needed to, so I was hoping if I could pick it up a bit and stay at that pace, I might be in for a shout of the PB. Mile 12. Picking it up. And that's what I did. Super grateful to be running on the roads at this point, as I felt I could just push on that tiny bit more with the tarmac under my feet. Mile 12, 7 minutes 19. If I could do that again, I'd be on for the PB, I thought. My legs were gone, but I was so close to the end, and that thought just gave me the last bit of oomph that I had left in me. Also saw a guy running with his kid in a pram at a stupidly good pace, and that's all I needed to see to get my head down and go all out. Mile 13. Go hard or go home. F***ing hell. Half a mile. What a lion, Dominic! How the f did I do that? 1 hour 39, 36 seconds, official time, PB done. No idea how I did that, proper chuffed though. Yeah, time for a beer. I hope you enjoyed whatever the f this was. Yeah, cheers.